I moved from DC to New York City when I was 28, and moving to a new city in your late 20s is tough. For background, I grew up in the DC area, and I lived there for about like 7 years post-grad, 5.5 of which I worked for the US Congress. And here are some things I wish I did and knew when I first moved here when it comes to making friends. In your late 20s, I feel like a lot of people have their friend groups set up, so they're a little reticent to like engage with new people. Working in Congress is kind of like working at your college campus, like everyone there is friends. So moving to New York was like a little bit daunting. If I could give myself one piece of advice back in December, it would be to suck it up. I was so prideful. I was like, I don't want to message these girls and be a weirdo and ask them to get a drink. Like, grow up, Beverly. I had so many girls I knew from college or high school or friends of a friend. I don't know why I thought they were going to be like, how dare you, you freak of nature. It is scary because it's like a weird feeling of rejection. But here's the secret. Every person I've ever messaged to get a drink has said yes, and now we're all good friends. There's a really good creator called, it's like Ask Hayes, and she does like an advice column, and she talks about the different types of besties, and I found that I have a lot of long-term best friends. Like, I have friends I met in the crib at daycare, so we've been friends for like 29 years. But as I get older, you guys get this, a lot of our friends move off to the suburbs, have babies, get married, etc. And so I was feeling like I didn't have a ton of seasonal besties. Definitely go watch her video on this. It's so interesting. So if you're meeting people in the city that you live in right now in your late 20s, you're automatically going to have a lot in common. And I feel like in the last 6 months, I've made so many like seasonal besties. I couldn't define like what was lacking in my friendship sphere because I do have so many great friends. Like I don't feel like I'm missing out on good friends, but I don't have a lot of friends in the same place of life that I am. So if you're moving to a new city, it is the best excuse to be like, hey, I just moved here, would love to grab a cup of coffee or a drink. If any of you have recently moved to New York City or a new city in your late 20s and have advice on how to make friends, leave it in the comments below. Would love to hear your thoughts.